Hey guys, today I'd like to discuss the question when should someone trust their feelings and when should they ignore them? I think people should not trust their feelings when they have observed themselves to be in a state of high emotional arousal. So I'm of the understanding that when you're in a state of high emotion, that emotion can hijack your thought process. So if you're enraged, your brain will find any way to justify why it's enraged, and any way to justify why it should commit a specific action. So like hit someone, for example, if you're angry, or tear up someone's artwork or something, commit an act of violence. These are all moments where an individual should ignore what the feelings are ignore what the feelings would like them to do to release that emotion. When I think people shouldn't ignore feelings is when it relates to personal boundaries. So if there's a situation at hand and someone has crossed one of your boundaries. So for example, someone has touched you on your shoulder, or when they didn't, when you hadn't felt comfortable with that, when you're not on that level of familiarity with someone, and in that moment you yourself feel feelings of you feel as though you've been violated, for example. In that moment you should not ignore the feelings, as this in this scenario that is a personal boundary that has been crossed. What you do with those feelings is a different question. For example, the best way to go about that is to assert the boundary so the person knows for next time. But it should not be ignored in the same way that an emotion of anger that wants you to commit an act of violence. So these are two different emotions here, and they should be dealt with in two separate ways. But on the other hand, I will say that I don't believe that any feeling should be ignored, but what should be ignored is the action that your body wants to do in response to the emotion. I think more often that action should be ignored. The feeling should not. Thank you guys for listening.